The scoring factory on 3. 1, 2, 3. Scoring factory.
What's going on, everybody? Coach Kevin with the Scoring Factory, back with episode 35 of our breakdown series. Today, we're talking about one of the most underrated skills in basketball, being a great screener. So let's get right into it. When people talk about great offense, the conversation usually centers around scorers, playmakers, and shooters. But a huge amount of modern offense is actually created by something much simpler, the screen. And while it may seem basic, the difference between an average screener and a great screener can completely change how effective an offense becomes. Screen angle, timing, contact, rolling, popping, rescreening. The best bigs in basketball don't just set screens, they create advantages with them. So we'll break down what it actually means to be an effective screener and how the small details in ball screens can completely change how defenses are forced to react. So the goal of a ball screen and the goal of any action in basketball is to create an advantage. So as Zubac sets this ball screen, we get advantage by getting two guys focused on the ball. Because now we're playing a numbers game where we can have more offensive players off the ball than we would defensive players in this case. Now, how do you create that advantage as a screener? That's what we're talking about. We want to force the over. Forcing the under or allowing the defender to go under allows them to stay with this offensive player, and no advantage has really been created, especially at this high of a screen above the three-point line. If Luka were to go under, Harden would have to take a step back from about here, which again, this is James Harden. That's not a shot you want to give up all the time, but a 30-foot three isn't the worst outcome that you can have. Now, we want Luka to go over, so Zubac is going to screen the lower half of Luka's body, this side of Luka. If he screens, if we cut Luka in half here and he screens the top side, that would allow Luka to go under. But now, because he has to go over, again, now we're in numbers advantage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 offensive players to only 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive players that are really in the play. Luka is a non-factor now after this screen, and that's only because Zubac set such a great screen, and it allows James Harden to get into one of his patented pocket passes. Now, this isn't a skill just for bigs. Look at this, a guard setting this screen. Look at the angle of the screen. This screen is not lifted super high because our defender is not attached as much to James Harden. If this screen is set at this angle, we go back under, and now we've created no advantage. But look, as he sets the screen, he is screening to try to force the over. And he gets the over, and what I want you to pay attention to, look at these small details. He is not going to let him. He kind of holds on to him and pushes him off to kind of propel his roll into the middle of the floor. He doesn't let him get back into the play. We looked at it last week when we did our Draymond Steph off-ball screening video and how Draymond manipulates his screens to keep defenders out of the play. It's the same thing here, because now here's our advantage. We've got 2 on the ball, and now once we throw this pocket pass, this is a recover situation. We have to rotate down, and this is really difficult to guard. And again, he is rewarded because he sets a screen that creates an advantage for his teammate. This is another great example. A lot of teams call this 77, this double screen. Look at where Zubac is setting the angle of this screen. It is forcing the over, right? Sometimes we get too caught up in trying to get right up next to the guard so that the guard can go shoulder to shoulder, but it allows the defender to sneak under, and we haven't created an advantage. So Zubac is now going to screen and force Paolo to go over. And again, if you look at this still frame, we're in advantage here. If Suggs is going to help here on Zubac, we throw this over the top to Leonard. If Suggs stays and Cole Anthony helps, now we can throw the skip to the corner. What ends up happening is they both stay, we get the roll, and now Zubats, again, he has his options here. Do we take on the smaller guard? Do we kick to the corner? They're both good options, and they're both right answers. Again, look at the screen. We are forcing the over, and a lot of this is because of the angle. If the angle was lifted higher or the screen was being set here, Giannis could go under, but this is forcing the over. Now, when we force the over, we have to make contact, and that is successful because if we don't make contact, it's not even as much about Giannis as it is about engaging Lopez here. Because if we go back a couple frames, as soon as this contact is made with Giannis, Lopez is now engaged on the ball. We've now gotten two to the ball. And look at Plumlee's roll. He is kind of pushing off of Giannis to keep him up going over the screen so that now he is open on this roll. Harden throws the pocket pass, and again, we're in advantage. Easy dunk. So how else can we create advantages with screens? One example is flipping the ball screen. And you're seeing an example right here of how a ball screen can get flipped. So let's rewind and watch exactly what happens here and show you exactly how we actually create an advantage out of this. So as our offensive player is running up, it is assumed that this screen is going to be set on this side of our defender, which means, especially on a team that wants to be at least a little bit aggressive to the ball, our defender is going to try to stay and show out here. But now, because it is a last second flip, he doesn't know which side the ball screen's coming on. That has to come from the communication here. And now, because we've flipped under, we've naturally set ourselves up to screen the lower half of the defender, which again, our goal, like we said, is force the over. Now, we make solid contact here, but you can tell based on the defender's movements that he is actually going to try to go under this screen. But again, Iowa's one of the best ball screen teams in the country. The roller is not going to let him go under. He is going to force him over as he rolls because he's not in a position to guard right now. It forces the second defender to actually step up and just engage. And again, if you're looking here, we've got two defenders engaged with the ball. He kind of pushes off on this roll towards the hoop again. And now we are operating in advantage. We're really 2-on-1 here. He has to make a choice. Does he step up and stop the ball or step back and protect the rim? He chooses to step up, and it's going to lead to an open lob. Here's another great example of how flipping a ball screen can create advantage. So again, as this screen looks to be set, again, because most teams know we're going to try to screen here and force the over, Derek White is assuming that this screen is coming on his right side. And Porzingis is ready to help as Cade were driving downhill. If you were to just look at this stop motion, you would see a ball screen being set here for Cade to go left. But as we play this out, it gets flipped. And now Derek White is entirely out of position, and Porzingis is out of position to guard a drive going right. And a lot of teams that have a big like this, who is a rim protector, they're going to play in some form of drop coverage, and flipping ball screens can manipulate how much they have to move laterally. Okay? And as Cade starts to attack downhill now, we're going to see we force the over again. And to make sure that Derek White can't get under here, we are going to roll as soon as we make contact. So that way he can't try to slip under because we're already rolling. And now again, we're 2-on-1. And Porzingis is really out of position because he's still sliding to recover to get back to guard this drive right when he thought he was guarding a drive going left. Defense is in rotation. Cade Cunningham's just an NBA All-Star and makes this play by himself. But if you were to want to throw this pass, this is a dunk. If Horford steps in, this is a skip to the corner. But again, advantage created because of the flipping of the ball screen. This is a must-have concept to understand as a screener. Like I said, our goal is to force this over from Dyson Daniels. but this screen is being set really far out. So, like I said, the goal is to force the over. Well, guess what? That doesn't always happen, right? So Daniels goes under and kind of eliminates our screen advantage. But what happens right away if we go back and watch this frame by frame? As soon as we see that this defender is going to go under, we are flipping and re-screening immediately, right? Because now, once we flip the screen, and again, look how much he is making sure he's screening the bottom half of Dyson Daniels' body to make sure that he now has to go over the screen. And as soon as we get our over, we're in advantage. And again, the best screeners can do a little bit extra here. Watch Duran's right arm extend without getting this illegal screen call. Because again, as soon as we get the over, if you're counting, Dyson Daniels is behind the play. And this is now 5-on-4. If Cade wants to just keep going in attack, great. Thompson's cutting because his guy's stepping up. Awesome. If Duran is on this roll and this defender helps, we hit the shake. If he stays, we hit the roll. This is the position you want your best playmakers in, and that's exactly what we get out of this. He has endless options, and he makes the right play for himself. This clip is probably my favorite example of this. So first, Vassell is going to go over, but he gets over without contact, right? We need contact in order to create this advantage because Vassell right now has recovered back. So we flip the screen even though we probably got the over, but we didn't make firm enough contact. Now he goes under. So what do we do again? Immediately we're coming back to re-screen. Because if they try to go under twice on this screen, now you're just inviting an open pull-up three. But again, finally, we get the over, we're rolling. Now Vassell's out of position. Compare this frame right here to if we cut it back to originally when Vassell got over this first screen to this frame, right? Vassell's in position here. We let this play after another screen when he goes under. We re-screen again. And now he has to go over because we make contact on the screen, or at least make him think contact is coming. This is now advantage. And for NBA players and for good playmakers at any level, a slight advantage is all you need because now we have to engage another defender. So if he steps up, we throw the roll. If not, we're just going to attack the rim. Our last way that we're going to talk about to be a great screener and force advantages out of screens and guards, this is for you. This is Isaiah Joe. He's one of the best in the league at doing this. This is the guards version of forcing the over. This is called a ghost screen. And instead of actually making contact and setting a screen, as soon as we're about to make contact, we are going to slip and cut out of this into open space. But what it does is it's essentially like forcing someone to go over a screen, because now if he were to set this screen, we have to have this guard engaged. And this typically works so well guard to guard because defenses want to switch things that are guard to guard. So if we're calling switch right now, normally you switch on contact. Isaiah Joe, if you can notice the small details here, touches to initiate contact to call out a switch, but now he's actually cutting out. But if you look at it, he's really forcing an over on a screen to draw a second defender. So now as we let this play out, there are two to the ball and our advantage has been created. Now we're getting an open catch and shoot three. And here's another example of this from Isaiah Joe in another game, right? He's going to walk up and he's keeping his angle flat. Now he gets close, and as soon as he sees his defender engage with the ball, he's going to slip out. But again, if we were to go back and look at this, if this were to be a guard-to-guard screen and not a ghost, which they also set to try to get switches for Shea, right? Kennard would have to switch. But because he thinks this is going to be a screen, but essentially by slipping out of the screen, he has forced the over, in this case, but really he's engaged his defender because these two think they're switching a ball screen. So for guards, being able to set ghost screens effectively will not only open up opportunities for the ball handler, but for you as well to get open looks. Great screeners don't just help the ball handler, they shape the entire possession. The best ones understand angles, spacing, timing, and how defenses want to guard certain actions. And once you understand those details, screening becomes much more than just standing in someone's way. It becomes a skill. Whether you're a big trying to become more impactful offensively or a coach looking to create cleaner advantages in pick and roll, mastering the details of screening can completely elevate an offense. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment what you want to see next. Follow us on our social medias at The Scoring Factory, and as always, I will see everybody in the next video.